All right, so I mean, I know you know in class you guys went over classes, and I'm guessing you have a general idea what they mean, but just in case, this is a basic overview of what classes are. So okay, so in class you went over some sort of Java class that was something like this: public class circle, and then you had a constructor, and then you had other methods, and so on and so forth. And I mean, you might not be completely sure what this whole bit of code might mean. A good analogy here, well, I guess a decent analogy here, would be think of a class like this as the instruction manual to make something. So in this case, this class is the instruction manual to make a circle. But the thing about it is an instruction manual isn't actually a circle, right? It's the instruction manual that tells you how to make the circle, but it isn't actually a circle. Does that make sense? So the thing about it is that because this not once you make this instruction manual, you could use it to make circles in your Java programs. So let me just show you what that means. So here I have a basic what's it called? Circle class, okay? So then we could do here and then here. Give me a second. Okay. So the thing about it is that you have this circle class, and the thing about it is that if you think of this as the instruction manual, it should have information about what a circle should be. For example, the radius, right? Or I mean, if you're going to use pi, maybe for to calculate the area, so on and so forth. Information about what a circle should be. This is the instruction manual. And like any instruction manual, it should tell you how to make one, right? That's what constructors are. Constructor methods. You notice how constructor methods have the exact same name as the actual class itself. That's a rule for constructors. If you want to make a circle, or whatever you want to name this, right? Whatever you want to name this class. In this case, we're making circles. Then you have to make the constructor of the exact same name, okay? So these constructors are used to make circles, okay? And if you look here, I have two of them. One of them doesn't accept any input. The other one does accept an input, right? So we could use either of these now to actually make a circle. So let's look in here. You see, now I'm making a circle. You see, I have the class circle. I've named it X. I've named the circle I'm making. The name of it is X. So you can imagine that here in this picture, I'm making a circle, and its name is now going to be X. Okay? So now I have this circle named X. And this circle named X is going to be, I'm declaring a new circle using, if you look here, this is the constructor in that class, right? And I'm throwing in a double. So if we look in here, here's the one constructor, and this one, well, it doesn't have an input, so we can't use this guy. So we have to look for a different constructor. Now this constructor does accept an input, and it's a double, and I'm throwing in a double. So obviously Java would use this one to make the circle. So it makes the circle, and now it will use this radius, which is, you see here, this radius will be set to this radius, which, as you could see, if you look up top here, it's the exact same radius as, this information is the information about, the object, in this case, the circle. So the radius you send in is used for, establish the actual radius of the circle. So now, if we think of it that way, now you have this circle, and now what you could do is you could pull information out from that circle, get information about it. Once again, using that same instruction manual. So if we look at the instruction manual here, what are some things we could do? We could get the radius, or we could get the area, right? So let's get the area. System.out.println, and if we look, we could do X, right? Which is the name of our circle, dot get area. Now what this should do is this should print out the area of our circle, okay? So let's save this, and let's run it. And there's our area of the circle, which is, as you can see here, the get area will return pi times radius, or the radius is that radius we initially set up when we constructed the circle X. Does that make sense? Am I going too fast? Maybe. Not sure. But anyways, that's how you could use the constructor method to create an object. And what you could do is, these are called getter methods. Well, they're called getter methods because they get information from your object like you see here, it got the area from X because we use the getter method getArea. There are other types of methods such as setter methods. And what setter methods do is that they set information. So you could do like set radius. And then you could do and then here you could do radius. Oh, actually no, this would require an input. Let's do double new radius. Radius equals a new radius. So if we want to, what am I doing wrong here? Actually no, this is not, this is void. Because we're just setting the radius, we're not doing anything else with it. So then let's see here. So now we could set the radius for X now, okay? So let's do X dot set radius, right? And then in here we should put in a double. So let's just put in 2.0. So our X initially was its radius, we set it to be 5, right? And now this will change the radius to 2. So what happens if we do that system.out.println x.get radius? The radius should be print out as 2 because we changed the radius for X, right? It should print out 2, not 5. So let's do this. So let's run it. If you look here, it printed out 2 because we set a new radius to our circle X. And that's pretty much a basic overview of a simple class.